Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the backstory. If you're new here, kindly hit the subscribe button and the notification bell down below so that you can be notified whenever we post a new video. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Gathoni wa Mushomba has been known to be a very close ally of the former Vice President Rigathi Gachagua. So yesterday, she was interviewed during the program of Fixing the Nation, which was on NTV. And Gathoni wa Mushomba made some comments which are very interesting in a way that, if you look at it, there are positives to what she said. Something that if Rigathi Gachagua's team can build on, then he can take up the mantle of opposition leadership in Kenya. Then there are the negatives that we would also want to look at, something that has damaged the momentum that Rigathi Gachagua's team had picked. So let's listen in.
The sensitive was the Gachagua himself. For the last 2 years when he was in power, he didn't carry himself in a pleasant way that would appeal to most members to support him. He was a bit too aggressive. His language was a bit too off-key. His conduct was sometimes off the radar. I feel, this is my take. Because, I also try to talk to members and telling them, please support us, don't impeach Gachagua. And they will say, no, he called me this name.
Okay.
He treated me this way. I went to his reception, he refused to see me, He came to my constituency, he didn't even greet me, So he also added some catalysm. He catalyzed the process of impeaching himself.
Okay.
Yeah, but that does not mean that we blame him 100%. Of course, there were other actors around that were fueling the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua. But may I say this? The same humiliation they served Rigathi Gachagua. The same humiliation God is going to serve them. Yesterday, a mugumo tree in Githunguri fell. In my culture, when a mugumo tree falls, something big, great happens.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you watch that video and listen keenly, there are two things that I have picked. One is the negative part, and then the other one is the positives. So let's start with the negative part, which has dented a very, very big blow to the Rigathi's team. One is the fact that Mushomba is talking about Rigathi Gachagua being his own enemy when he was the deputy president. And this is denting his image in a way that, Rigathi Gachagua has been trying to build his image around the fact that he has been kind of trying to mine political mileage by playing victim, by accusing President William Ruto to have engineered his own downfall. And just as Mushomba has said, there are people who didn't love Rigathi Gachagua when he was the deputy president. But he gained political mileage by playing the victim, by saying that, he supported President William Ruto in 2022, but President William Ruto and his handler kind of shoved him off the political scene. And he has managed to gain traction and gain followers using this political sympathy. So by Mushomba, who is considered an insider of Rigathi Gachagua, coming out to say that some of the reasons as to why some members of parliament, elected members of parliament from central Kenya not supporting Rigathi Gachagua was because of the way he handled some of these elected leaders. They were not willing to support him. They were not willing to come to his aid. Is something that is going to dent Rigathi Gachagua's image in central Kenya and even in the whole country. Because, however much someone might say that Mushomba is not telling the truth, but in Kenya, even if someone is lying, if that lie is told repeatedly, Kenyans will pick it up, and at the end of it, it will come out as the truth. And now, the timing of whatever Wamuchomba is talking about is also something that we need to talk about. It's very, very important. Remember, President William Ruto is planning to tour Mount Kenya region in the next 1 week or so. So this is a cue to the elected members of parliament from central Kenya. They will pick whatever Wamuchomba has talked about, talk about it repeatedly during the tour of President William Ruto, because I know at some point they will be asked why they did not come to the rescue of Rigathi Gachagua. And whatever Wamuchomba has talked about will be picked by the elected leaders from central Kenya, and it will be repeated over and over. And at some point, Kenyans or people from central Kenya will believe it. And that will dent or will kind of give Rigathi Gachagua a bad image going forward. Now, the positives that I pick from Wamuchomba's statement is that, one, Wamuchomba has given Rigathi Gachagua's handlers an opportunity here. One is kind of told them to sit back and come up with another strategy. A strategy that can help him win not only central Kenya, but can help him win the masses, that is all Kenyans who are not satisfied with President William Ruto's presidency.
That he has the mountain with him. He doesn't have to talk much and punch again about the mountain. He already has the mountain. He actually needs to be seen to be more accommodative to other communities. He needs to be seen to be advocating. The same energy he's using for the mountain, he needs to be seen to be advocating for the people who are evicted in other areas. He needs to be seen to be advocating for the forgotten communities of this country. Yeah, if really he's a national leader, we need to see Rigathi Gachagua use the same energy and stamina to fight for other Kenyans other than just the people of the mountain. That's my take. Mm-hmm. He may like it or not like it, but I think that, to me, that's my approach. He has a very good he has a good way of pushing issues. In our community we say ni kimoda. Kimoda ni mtu ambaye akona njia za kusukuma, za kufanya kazi na kupata ile anataka. He has a way of doing things. I wish he can use that now energy to fight for other communities, fight for Kenyans, fight for pay slips so that we don't have any more deductions, fight for us so that we don't suffer more taxation. But he must also dissociate himself in his campaigns from the mountain connotation, because he has fought for the mountain enough. By the way, the other day he talked about PSAs who are just about to be removed from government. When he spoke about it, William Ruto was scared. He had to spare them. I mean, he's done it. We already believe in Gachagua's energy to fight for the mountain. It is time for him to move out and fight for the Turkanas of this country. It is time for him to move out and fight for the Luos of this country. He has to do that.
Rigathi had built an image of being the defender of central Kenya, Mount Kenya. But Wamuchomba has challenged him that Kenyans love the way Rigathi Gachagua speaks about issues, he addresses issues, he articulates issues. Is one person who is charismatic. When he's given a microphone, he can charm his audiences with the words. He has a way with the words. But his only undoing is the fact that most of the issues that he has been talking about are solely concentrated in central Kenya. That he has been raising only issues that are affecting central Kenya. So Rigathi Wamuchomba has talked about him coming out to speak about issues that are affecting the country, in a way that if he wants to be a national leader, if he wants to be seen as a national leader, if he wants to appeal to the emotions of Kenyans who are not satisfied with President William Ruto's presidency, and if he wants to take over the mantle or the leadership of the country, then he has to come out openly and now start talking about issues affecting the country. Because as we are right now, there is no any other leader in the opposition who can take on President William Ruto the way Rigathi Gachagua has been doing it. And he's been talking out openly and talking about issues that, yeah, it could be that they're affecting Mount Kenya, but there are other issues that are affecting Kenyans. So he needs to come out openly and address issues that are affecting the country without only confining himself to Mount Kenya region or Central Kenya region. This will help him now to shed off the tribal tag that has been put on him, and then he will come out as a national leader. And this will help him not only in 2027, but even in 2032, if he wants to vie for the presidency. And just as the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga talked sometimes when he was in Kisii, I know so many people castigated him, but the truth is that in Kenya right now, there's no single person or there's no single community that can single-handedly take over the mantle or the presidency without the support of other communities. So for Rigathi Gachagua to take advantage of this, he needs to come out right now and shed off that tribal tag that he had been given and now be the opposition leader or take up the mantle of opposition from the former Prime Minister. And I think that is something that his handlers need to take. That is a positive that his handlers need to take from the Wamushomba's The Wamushomba's interview. Because there's one thing that Wamushomba also revealed in a way that even though they did not like Rigathi Gachagua when he was the deputy president, but the mere fact that he was the deputy president was making him to be closer to power. And it was like their interest or the interest of the Mount Kenya was the presidency. And the fact that Rigathi Gachagua was there as the deputy president was making them being closer to the presidency. So if that is the interest of the mountain, then they'll have to repackage Rigathi Gachagua in a way that he can appeal to the emotions of Kenyans, not only the mountain, but all other tribes in Kenya. So ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be a blow, and I think it's something that is going to be picked by even handlers of President William Ruto, so that they are going to ram it into the heads of the people from Central Kenya as they tour by saying, oh, it's not us, but it was agreed by the elected leaders that Rigathi Gachagua had to go. But it's a matter of wait and see. We'll try and monitor what's going to happen during President William Ruto's tour of Mount Kenya region. And then we'll give you an in-depth analysis, ladies and gentlemen. But if you're new here, kindly hit the subscribe button and the notification bell down below so that you can be notified whenever we post a new video. Until next time, bye-bye.